Hello everybody and welcome back to the patch 1.47 dev server. Now, as you can see here, this wasn't here before. We've got a daily reward, small trophy booster, and basically it seems like these are, well, daily awards for logging in. We've got today, tomorrow, day 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it skips to day 13. I don't know if there's anything between that or if it just runs out of space. This is a small trophy booster. Basically a random boost of group booster of 10% Silver Lions or RP, or random booster of 10% to 30% Lions or 10% to 30% RP. And then you've got medium ones which are the same but boost it up even more. Now this only contains one of the following items, so I'm guessing it's a bit of a lottery on what you get. It's all medium. The last one, Huge Trophy, contains one of the following items: 100 Golden Eagles, 100,000 Silver Lions or Gold Battles wager. It says chance to win a 1,000 Gold Eagles wager. It also has 100 Gold Eagles at the top, so I don't know if you have to spend it to unlock that. We'll see what we get for this one. We got a 15% bonus to RP, so that lasts for 10 missions. So, right, that's our first change that we've noticed in this patch. So now that we've got that out of the way, welcome back properly to the 1.47 dev server. Now, I should apologise because last time I did the dev server episode, I kind of missed out quite a few important stuff because it was quite late. It wasn't. I was quite tired and I just missed out a lot of stuff. One of the things I did miss out was the A20G30, so I'll quickly look at that now. It replaced the A20 we've got in game now. Not entirely sure what difference it has from the old one. I don't know if that. I don't think that red bit on the tail was there on the rear rudder. And I think it's got a slightly new turret, possibly new armor. Not entirely sure. It's got quite thick armor actually, which is quite good. We'll check the modifications because no, it seems to be the same modifications. Maybe the rockets are new. Maybe they've got more rockets, but it seems to be about the same as it has been always. The other vehicle I forgot to look at was the G14. Well, I looked at it very, very briefly, but I didn't really go into much in depth. So I'll bring that up now. Preview. From what I understand, right, if we go back again, sorry, seems to have the same armament as the G6 if you ignore the ammunition the extra guns I've put on it. And we'll check the armor quickly. If it will load up. Seems about the same armour. Don't know if that bit was there on the G6 or if it seems to be two pieces. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it looks. I think it's the same battle rate and it looks about the same. 5.3, 5.3. So same battle rating. It's quite a bit faster though. 432 miles an hour. What's the G10? 430 miles an hour. Now, bearing in mind that's stock, and my G10 is actually upgraded. Oh no, the G10's stock, sorry. They're both stock. The G14 technically has an advantage over it, speed-wise. What's the turn time? 19 seconds, 21 seconds. The G10's slightly slower, but more manoeuvrable. Of course, the stat cards can be wrong, but they're right in the actual turn time, but they're probably right, in one being more manoeuvrable than the other. Now, the other thing I forgot to look at in the last dev server was the, what do you call it? The new ammunition for the T54 and the IS-4. The B412, what was it called? B412P, right. 250 millimeters of our penetration at 100 meters, 87 at 2000. Well, that is quite an improvement. Oh, it's worse at long range than the gun it's got now. Up to 1,000 meters, it's better than the stock ammo, but beyond that, it's worse. 250 millimeters at 100 meters. That's quite powerful. Check that in a sec. I was just seeing what that was. The IS-4 and IS-3 have all CR41 471D. 230 millimeters to 146. So again, it's actually better at all ranges, I think, more or less. So 200mm. Now let's check the Maus, because obviously that's the only German like high tier tank that they got. Now that whole armour is 200mm, but of course you've got sloping. So let's check out this, if it load for us. Yeah, we'll get the armour view up. That could potentially let them penetrate through the turret of the Maus. Yeah, I'll kind of worry about that, because Germany's finally got a decent heavy higher tier tank, and now they've just suddenly, all their opponents have been given guns that, well, weapons that will be able to penetrate it. I don't know. I suppose it depends on the range as well. I suppose you would have to get quite close, but it does seem a bit, well, I suppose you'd have to be able to penetrate it, otherwise it's not fair, but yeah, I think it may be more for when the Cold War tanks are added in, because I believe they're adding more Cold War tanks in. So I suppose it's more for dealing with that. The other thing I forgot to look at in the last episode was the APCR ammo on the Tiger E. Preview that quickly. Where's APCR? Yeah, here we go. Stock ammo 130 to 70. Or 198 to 125. That is a bloody good improvement. That's 50mm. No, that's 50mm better on the minimum, and about nearly 70mm better on the maximum penetration. Wow, that's going to be a very good addition for the Germans. Heat's 103, which is decently okay, I suppose, for long range. But yeah, because I don't think the German H has that at the moment. The H is an early variant, I believe. If we go to the H, yeah, that doesn't get it. Which is kind of weird, because in-game at the moment it faces the IS-1, which, if we go there and check on the ammunition, yeah, that does get APCR. So I don't know why the Russians get APCR for their like IS-1, the Germans don't for the H1, but it's good that it's getting it for the E. Definitely improve things for German tanks, which can be, I've heard, a bit unfair at the moment, although I personally haven't got to tier 3, but definitely a good addition for the German. Now, I should also point out, last time I was on the dev server, I didn't quite understand what all of the new additional changes meant, specifically with the M26E1 and the T28E. But one of my subscribers, Kenneth Wang, and what the changes were, and I've done a bit of looking. I know what the differences are for them now. The M26, it has a different gun, same caliber, but it's a longer reload rate, 14.4 seconds rather than, wait, if I go back, rather than 11.8 for the M26 normal. I don't know if it gets a better, it seems generic, AP, HE and HVAP. Yeah, standard AP is 213 to 143 in the E1. In the M26, quite a bit better than the M26, basically, unless you count the APCR. It's also a little bit heavier, 42.9 compared to 41.6. Seems to be about the same in most other respects. Maximum inclination is 1 degree less. Turret rotation speed about the same. Vertical guidance slightly lower max for that. Seems to be about the same armour as well. So mainly slower reload speed, and I assume the extra weight makes it a tiny bit slower. But it doesn't seem to be that much heavier. Now also I got wrong, like I was saying, I didn't get the T28 right. If we go to the T28 normal here, it's to do with, it's got better armour, I believe, the T28E. This is the normal one. You can see there's nothing here. You know, it just shows the side of the tank. But if you go over to the T28E, just letting it load up a sec, you can see it's got these additional bits of armour here, which aren't there on the normal T28. And I think it has got thicker armour in other places, possibly. I know, right, I did have it. I'm sure it showed a bit behind that armour plate. Now, it's definitely a lot heavy. Yeah, you got extra armour there. So 22 and 30. So 50mm thick there. And I assume they've done that all over the tank. Yeah, you can see there. And another bit there. So 50mm there. So basically, they've lumped on a whole load of armour. If we go back, it actually makes the tank about 4 tons heavier, 29.4, 25.4. So, yeah, about 4 tons heavier. Doesn't actually seem to affect the speed. 31 v31. It doesn't show up the additional hull armour, because it's 2 lots of hull armour, or possibly more, rather than 1 single plate. Which is where I got confused last time. Everything else seems about the same, I think. So, you know, just clearing up from the last episode. Now, something else I forgot to look at in the last episode was the Gepard and the new commander and driver modes. I've just been testing it out, that's why I've already gone quite a distance. So this is the driver mode, as you can see from the driver's point of view. Down low, can't use your gun, but, you know, you can see obstacles easier. And here is commander view, basically binoculars. So you can see binoculars. I'll keep pressing the wrong button. You can zoom in and out a little bit. And here's the what do you call it? Aiming. Now I did change. Yeah, and there's a button for changing it red or black. I assume that's through. I don't know what it's into. Colour blindness or. No, it wouldn't be colourblind, would it? I don't know. Maybe it lets you see in better environments or something. So yeah, I suppose that's good. And this is the Gepard. Which you can see is fairly fast. It's got an okay gun. It's only a 20mm, but you know, it's low tier, so it's not too much of a problem. Just getting in close to this KV2. See if I can penetrate his turret. I don't think we can. One last try from the back, and then I'll leave the test drive. Yeah, can't do it from the back. So we'll get back to the rest of the dev server. Now, another thing I forgot to check in the last episode was the Ju-87D5 pods. Now, first of all, we come over here and see, wow, MG times 12s and Cannon times 4. See what kind of effect it has on performance. Now, I've actually had it pause for a minute or two. It's not coming up with what performance, you know, without Dragon and stuff like that it adds on it. But we've quickly test fly it. So here we are with the Ju-87D5, one realistic. You can see it sticking out there. Let's get us off the ground. Right, we're off the ground. Where's our target? Oh dear, no, we're not off the ground. Oh god, this quite badly affects performance. I'm sure this takes off a lot easier. Usually. Right, additional guns. Don't know why the engine sound keeps going a bit. So, we've got no small caliber weapons, but we've got our cannons. So let's do it full blast. Wow, while diving and weaping, we are still being de-accelerated by these things. And they have a ton of ammo, like 1,000... Oh god, it chews through it quick though. We had over 1,500 bullets. See if we can hit this vehicle from this range. I think we hit it, but yeah, we destroyed it. But oh god, this goes through ammo quick. Quickly test out the 20mm pods. Now, while we're here, I'll quickly see if I can get the new... the canopy isn't opening, so either... Right, I'll try it with another aircraft. Maybe this one doesn't have an opening canopy. We'll test out the cannon quick on here. Don't know why the engines keep going really quiet. Wow, these really create a lot of drag, I think. Right. See if we can get some height. Turn it. Right, just about turned it. And let's try the cannons. Oh god, this is de-accelerating us a lot. Yeah, never fire these for too long if you're at low speeds. I mean, we're whipping and slightly diving towards the target. And it's enough to stop all acceleration and actually cause us to de-accelerate. That's just how powerful the recoil is on this. See if we can't just destroy this vehicle quick. Come on. Yeah, we got it. So we'll go back to the hangar. Now, if we come over to the Americans and go to the F-82, which has kind of been... a lot of people don't like it because apparently the flight model's kind of balked. And they've got a gun pod as well. 8 machine guns. M3 Browning machine guns at that. So we'll give it for that a quick test flight. You can see a little pod there. So we're going to take off, quickly show off our guns. We've got 14 machine guns now. So that is a lot of ammunition. I mean, that is just a ridiculous amount of ammunition. Firepower. And we've got 2,500 bullets in the actual plane itself, and then we've got another 3,000 or so in the actual pod. I mean, it's ridiculous. Oh god, this thing is quite unwieldy. I'm having trouble turning it. Opening the canopies while we're in flight. Can't get the cockpit light to work, but well. Try strafing this carrier. Wow, that's a lot of firepower. And it's also enough to de-accelerate us while descending. Oh, can we pull over the carrier? Can we? Yeah, we can. Just about. I mean, this is ridiculous. The amount of... I hope they had more gun pods for more vehicles that hadn't, but this is just ridiculous. I haven't actually got the F-82 yet. Unfortunately, I can only use it in test flights, but I was originally going to use it as just a ground attack aircraft, but I think I could possibly use it as a bomber hunter now. 50 caliber machine guns aren't particularly great at bomber hunting, but with this many bullets, you're not going to... You know, it doesn't matter how good it is, you're going to rip whatever's at you're firing it out of the sky anyway. See if we can't just hit this vehicle. Oh, come on. Okay, maybe... Oh, we got it. There. So we'll head back to the hangar quickly. Now, the next plane I'm going to test fly is the B-29. Now, I actually did test fly it before, but as some of you may have seen, I had massive issues, technical problems, like sound kept going in and out. Graphics were set to ridiculously high, so if it was really laggy. So I'm going to retest flight the B-29 and Focke-Wulf 200, because, you know, I don't think I particularly gave a good view of the aircraft last time. Now, we start off in the air, because presumably it just can't take off otherwise. Or maybe either it can't take off, or, you know, the runways are too small, something like that. Again, we got 18 1,000-pound bombs. Just dropped one, you know, I'm pretty sure they have 1,000-pound bombs. And we are going to bomb these troops up ahead. We'll just pretend they're targets or something. Now, interestingly enough, it says United States Air Force, which puts this plane at presumably after 1947, before it was United States Army Air Force. So it's kind of interesting they've gone for a late, you know, post-World War II version of the B-29, which I have a feeling they're going to use that to justify putting it in high-tier matches. Try turning with this thing. Oh god, it loses a lot of speed. Although it does turn a lot better than I would have thought it would. It's quite a fast little plane, or big plane. It's got a decent amount of armament. Although again, if it goes against jets, I'm not sure it's going to do much good. Now, interestingly, there is another variant of this that is going to be added in. A Russian variant, the Tu-4. Basically, some of the Russians ended up getting some B-29s because they crashed after, you know, coming back from bombing raids and had to fly on to Siberia. Except they have 10 23mm cannons. Yeah, I think they may be a bit overpowered, but they're not coming in 1.47, so won't affect us yet. Just going to bomb this actual target. Going to have a go see if I can actually land this thing. Actually, I'll leave it, because that'll take far too long. I'm going to go back to the hangar, and then we'll try out the Focke-Wulf 200. So here we are with the Focke-Wulf 200. Oddly enough, when I went to unpause the camera, it said bomb view camera disabled. I don't know if that means I disabled it by pressing the unpause button or something, but I had that last time I was on this, so I'm wondering if this was originally going to have bomb cameras or something. Bomb view, and they disabled it for some reason. Now, this is an early variant of the Condor, so, or the Focke-Wulf 200, so only has very limited armament, 7.92mm machine guns. For some reason our bottom gun can't fire forward, even though it's pointing practically forward. But the top one can, so... But it can't fire much to the side, so yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Got very good coverage of the rear. This one machine gun could cover virtually the whole entire rear of the aircraft. The bottom gondola can cover a decent defensive arc, so it hasn't got particularly good weapons, but it can, in some places, cover a lot of the aircraft, more than most other aircraft turrets would, I suppose. I'm going to have a go at bombing this target. We lose speed quite quickly trying to climb. And turning to the side. I remember this being quite manoeuvrable last time I tested it, although I did have a whole host of technical problems that started coming to a head as I started test flying it, so not sure how well my memory is of it. Going to drop our bombs and then we're going to head back to the base. You know, simulate what you would normally do in realistic. Now, of course, you'd have a lot more time to climb in realistic, but we're just going to do a very quick, easy bomb drop here. So it carries the bombs on wings and in the bomb bay. Yeah, I wasn't sure where the bomb bay was because it's sort of between the two gondolas. Is it gondolas? I think that's the word. Okay, we hit the target. Do a very quick turn. Wow, this turn's pretty good actually. Remember, this is realistic. And we're actually accelerating while turning, although that could be because we're losing height. Yeah, it feels like a very manoeuvrable aircraft. Although the elevators... Oh no, the elevators are quite quick to respond. Oh no, actually, no they're not. Oh, right, that's quite embarrassing. I thought they were responding quite well when we went downwards, but yeah, apparently it doesn't respond very well to the upwards. Something that G8Ns, I think, had a bit of a problem with when they were first introduced. There's also been two other changes for, well, one for aircraft in general, which is opening canopies. You can see there, opening canopy. There is a light as well, but I can't really get it to show up properly. And the other changes with the G8N1 Renzan. If you can see here, I've got back 20,000 golden lion, silver lions. Basically, they've replaced the 12mm machine guns with 13.2. You got to research it all again, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is, I suppose. Now, one of the main changes in this patch is the inventory and item shop. Now, I don't pretend to really understand it all. Inventory, I think this is what I have. It says 2 days, 23 hours. I assume that's what the time I have to activate it. We've got all battle trophies, boosters. Well, we got the booster. What does it say for battle trophy? Trophy allows you to receive a random award from the described list. Yeah, the booster's what we've got. Discounts, presumably gives discounts. And tournament ticket is an item which allows you to take part in the indicated tournament. I don't know whether you receive that or you have to buy it or apply for it. I don't know. Now, I don't understand this exactly. I assume it's... If I spend 299 gold eagles, I get the M46 Tiger? What? I've got a chance of getting the M46 Tiger, a discount on the M46 Tiger, or one of these other items, boosters, golden eagles. I'm not entirely sure how this works exactly. Officer trophy. Seems to be the more expensive it is, the more likely you are to get something good. We got other stuff. We got boosters, which you could buy. Upon activation, gives +1 10%. Gives 10% silver lines to all allies for all battle actions. That sounds quite useful, and it does seem quite cheap. Although again, it depends how well you do in the match. Ticket for tournament. So you can buy these as silver lions. They're quite a bit cheaper than the other stuff. And that's valid for up to 3 defeats or 2 consecutive defeats. Yeah, I don't pretend to understand all of this. Because I don't understand all of this. So I don't know how that's going to affect the game exactly. But it does seem like an interesting thing they've added. Now, presumably at this point, we should quickly take a look at the decals. Something that's been in the news for War Thunder lately. As some of you may know, they Gaijin have removed pretty much all nations' flags for apparently people were trying to incite national hatred or something like that. having trouble. Oh, I clicked the wrong tank. And so they removed them, but then added them back for purchase. 500 golden eagles, which kind of makes no sense. They're causing lots of problems. We'll get rid of them, but we'll let you buy them. I don't know. So it says lots of decals. I'm sure some of these have been added before, or in before. Well, you can still get the United States Army flag, because that's part of an award. But yeah, I don't know which ones of these are new. Oh, this is new. UK First Army badge. I don't know if that's a hint towards British tanks, or maybe it's just a nod to the fact Britain used American tanks or something. I don't know. We got something for the East Germans. I don't know if that was in before or not. Maybe it refers to these decals. Maybe it just meant generic decals have been added, but I'll go through, very quickly looking at some of them. I assume some of these are new, because I haven't got anywhere towards unlocking them. Check again the Russians. Assume I think they've got some new ones as well, but... Yeah, so, good they're adding more stuff for the Germans and USSR and Allies and all that. Yeah, so the Allies ones will be these ones as well. So yeah, good. So far, good additions for the dev server, or patch. So for all intents and purposes, I think that pretty much covers everything new in the dev server. I'm going through the patch notes again. I can't see anything. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave feedback. Could always do with more feedback. Leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe if you like these sorts of videos. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.